What is up, everyone? So, welcome to the first of the series, What Makes It Great? We have Kish here today, and me, Adam, obviously. Kish, do you want to do an introduction?
Hey, Kish checking in, Soundtrap producer, Adam's assistant on on all things social. But no, excited to kick off this new series. What are we doing here today, Adam? Let them know.
Right. So, we have the Kehlani stems actually in Soundtrap now. We're going to check them out and talk about really what makes this song great. And we can listen to them individually. We can talk about the different elements and just like really just dive into it, and maybe we can get some learnings from it.
Yeah, a Grammy nominated track.
Oh yeah, that too.
All right, should we play a bit of it?
All right. Yeah, let's do it.
Too obvious, okay, I like your confidence. Oh, this one could come in, it's okay, like Kehlani is. Not just like Kehlani is, okay, feel at the parties. Right here at the parties. You gotta start out.
There we had it. So do you have any points that you want to start off with, Kish?
Hey, the first thing when I first heard this song that I noticed was how they used the drums. Especially they took a drill rhythm and played it over an R&B-ish type of beat. And yeah, even if you want to solo the drums.
Yeah. We have...
Slow down slightly, like maybe not at 140, not 150 BPM. But this is a classic case of like taking a drum sound and perhaps a loop or like any sort of rhythm outside of its chosen genre, adjusting it and doing something different to it. So I think people are really familiar with like UK drill and these genres, but like actually like not too familiar with it being slowed down and this R&B vocal. So like that experimental element really made this song like stand out sonically for me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the sound choice here is also really interesting because it is a stereotypical drill counter snare kind of like, well, with like kind of, it's got a bit of a hiss, but then also with like that really massive kick, because this entire song lacks snares, right? So having something as big as a kick right there and then lacking the snare, it really fills it out and makes it like still feel very cohesive as a drum beat, which I thought was really interesting when I heard it the first time.
Yeah, it's like that kick is a fat kick. It's like one of those early 2000s kicks.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's almost got like a layer on it, right? It's not just a kick drum. It's like fat, but it's also like a percussive layer.
It's got some sort of like weird Foley sound, like it's a chain or metal, some sort of kind of like weird thing. It does feel like there's a stomp, a kick, and then some metal clinking sound as well. That's what I thought was really interesting with the drums.
For sure. Yeah, what stood out for you the most in this track?
I think the thing that stood out the most is how well crafted the top line is for this song, because it's so repetitive, but in the sense of like, I mean, it's an earworm because you start singing with it immediately because you listen to this part.
Is that too obvious? Okay, I like your confidence. Oh, this one could come in, it's okay, like Kehlani is.
So very, very small, minute kind of changes throughout, but you hear the top line throughout. It's like you understand what the real hook of the melody is, and then it's like tiny at the endings. There's like a drop of the note or like a higher of the note. Like there's just a very well crafted, simple melody. It doesn't need that much more, and the timing and rhythm of it fits so well, countering that hi-hat or counter snare in the drill beat, which I thought was really, really good.
Yeah, completely agree. That was probably my second favorite thing. It's buttery. So the vocal mix itself is like like the mix engineer's done a great job because he's made it super smooth. Not too much reverb, you'll notice, in the sense of like it's not washing it out. It's kind of it's kind of just making it feel really smooth. And even if you can isolate like the vocals and just the bass line, I think something that you said there was interesting. If you listen to the contrast of the rhythms, these two sound really nice and contrasting, I think.
I like your confidence. Oh, this what could come is okay. Like Kehlani is. Like you like Kehlani is okay. Here at the parties. Right here at the parties. You gotta start a whole fire. And I'm on fire.
So it's like one's really slow, long notes, and his
Yeah.
vocal is really like short and choppy, and it's like that creates such a nice contrast, at least for my ear.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that the one thing that with the bass also that it has those long things is that the repetitive melody of the vocals get a completely different context when the notes changes in the bass. So, because you hear the same thing, right? But they mean different things as soon as the bass changes the chords. So you get the melody, but it means something different each time the bass changes the chord note, which I think is like, that's just genius. A very common trick in a lot of repetitive melodies. You hear that in like Taylor Swift songs, and the ones I'm remembering now is like Taylor Swift, like a Taylor Swift song, Avril Lavigne, like those types. Like there's either just a one note or kind of like a very simple melody that is super repetitive. When you change the underlying fundamental chord, it gives it new life each time it comes in.
Yeah. It's the tension and release of music, isn't it? It's like trying to get that fifth note or the seventh note in of the scale, because then when you return to the one, it just, it's like a bit of, okay, I've settled here now, you know, and I've come back.
Yeah. You coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another thing that I did want to talk about is just the very creative use of vocal samples to kind of build the fundamentals of the soundscape and like the entire like the stereo field of the song. So like this especially. Because like all of that is just vocals, and you can hear like they're scrambled, they're kind of like in these weird kind of like, it doesn't really sound like a human voice anymore. I mean, you do have the small ad libs from Kehlani, but like other than that, there's a really big space that you can create with something as simple as just a couple of takes of vocals.
Yeah, I think he sampled, I don't know if it was Summer Walker or who sang those original lyrics, but I remember they came from quite a popular singer. But I think again, yeah, it creates atmosphere, right? Again, this track maybe doesn't have too many elements per se, but a lot of different ear candy, which I loved.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love the chorus as well. Like if you're able to like skip through to where the chorus is, because
right?
it kind of felt like that melody again was the same, but when it hits, everything feels like, even though it's been repeated, like quite big. And again, this is thanks to the mix engineer as well, like giving the contrast of the sections. And even if you don't have a lot of tracks, it's, can you pan things slightly wider? Can you do some different things that are interesting to like make it feel fuller?
Definitely. So it's probably around here, I assume.
Yeah, I imagine. That was nice as well.
That's a thing that's so important with this also, like in this other stems, is that when you think about building tension and stuff with something as simple as a noise sweep and stuff, but like when it comes in, you're kind of like, you get that, oh my God, something's happening. And then you get that release when the lead line and like what home is for this song is that main hook, kind of hear these weird things. It's so simple. It doesn't really need to be a lot more than that, but you'll hear it like. And that filtration on her vocals also coming in, opening up.
Yeah, completely. It's like closes it up, then opens it right up, like you say. One other thing, like when I hear the song for the first time, that stood out is that use of that really high pitched that little what sample. Yeah. And it really breaks through sonically for me. And I think like the whole of the track, if you were to remove that sound, maybe it sits within a particular frequency range. Maybe the hi-hats are on the higher end. But the moment you add in that, it really contrasts that deep bass line. So thinking
Yeah.
about the right elements, I don't know if it's somewhere at the beginning. I think you can hear it.
See.
Too obvious, okay, I like your confidence. Oh, this one could come in, it's okay, like Kehlani is. Not just like Kehlani, it's okay, here at the parties. Right here at the parties. You better start a whole fire, now I'm on fire, I need someone, I need Tyler, I need Ramani, Rebecca, Serena, Selena, let's start a whole choir, I like the way that you get your
Maybe it's a bit later.
Yeah, probably.
Is that too obvious, okay, I like your confidence.
That one.
Oh, this one could
In the
come
chorus.
in, it's okay, like Kehlani is. Not just like Kehlani, it's okay, here at the parties. Right here at the parties.
That you got thing, or
Yeah, the you got, but also the what?
yeah,
Like the combo of that
Yeah.
really adds something to the chorus, actually, doesn't it?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it opens up in a completely different space of the frequency spectrum, right? Because there's Kehlani's voice, but there's not anything kind of in that space from the production in and of
Yeah.
itself. So it's enough. It's like those one note things that like you'll hear in like, I can't remember what song that is. If it's Dua Lipa, Pretty Please, where there's just
Great.
the
song.
only change
Great.
between the first and the second chorus is a one note thing, just playing. And that's enough to build a different soundscape and also like build tension in a little way as well. Cause like, I mean, in the second chorus, there's even bigger chorus to come. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think those are the biggest things that stood out for me on this.
Yeah, definitely. Same here.
Yeah, so try take notes of some of these if you're listening to this video. Try add them into your production, get inspired. This is a Grammy award-winning track. You can tell simplicity is at the heart of it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. But yeah, let us know what songs you'd like to hear on the next one.
Yes.
Drop it in Discord, drop it in the
absolutely.
comments. But yeah, see you next week, hopefully.
Definitely. Peace out.